So today we're going to do a quick little first impressions of the CIVIVI Typhoeus, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It is a adjustable folding push dagger. Now, this is for a friend and customer of mine from BladeDistrict.com that ordered it. And initially, he was under the impressions, as was I, because I wasn't familiar with this knife, that you can use it in a folding manner as a pocket knife, and then it transforms into a push dagger. And then we realized it wasn't like that. But I guess it comes with the price territory, because this is priced extremely budget friendly for what you're getting. There are some that do what I was saying that I held at Blade Show this year, but they were like, I think, in the $400 or $500 range. Now this guy here is actually very, very unique. You get a 2.27. You're getting 14C28N. You do have different color options. They actually have a Damascus from recollection with red. This is purple G10. Now notice there's no pocket clip. They give you a sheath here. I'm not going to open it. I'll have him open it. But, well, let me just show you this. You ready? So, pocket knife, right? Boom. Push dagger. It is literally that simple. But being that simple also means it does not lock. So when you carry this, there's no way to fold it. There's no way to hide the blade. And in the carrying position, it is like this in the sheath. I know it's kind of hard to see. Let's just imagine it's like this. And then the black flops over, clips in. That's why it's kind of, it sits over there. So basically the handle sits horizontally and the blade is sitting vertically inside this sheath. All right. So one of the main things is, this is, I guess you can call it a fixed blade. I've seen a lot of people refer to it as a fixed blade, and it kind of is, but it's so awkward and weird to kind of break down what this actually is, because it is a fixed blade, but it's a not locking fixed blade. And when you think of fixed blades, you don't even think of locking because they're supposed to be fixed. What you need to do is always keep pressure on the G10. If you're keeping pressure on the G10 like this, you're good, you're locked. But the second you were to choke up, you see it folding already. So that's something you never want to do if you're holding this. If you're using it properly and holding it like this and doing cutting tasks, you're going to be fine. You just don't want to start doing this, because by doing that, you're just starting the transformation into the push dagger. And then you can just do this. So there's multiple ways to do this. You can just push down like that. You can literally just hold it and slide like that. You can use two hands, and well, at that point, you literally just can go back and forth as much as you want. Or it's honestly just pretty cool to, just go like that. If you hit it right, you can kind of get it into a perfect dagger position, and now you have it like this. Now this is just one-sided sharpened. I know I didn't mention it. It might have looked obvious. You have that swedge on top. You got a nice edge. It's CIVIVI. We in CIVIVI do a good job. Send cut all them. And then you can just whip it back by holding it anywhere in this position. In this larger portion makes more sense. Give it a little swing, and you are back into that, so to say, fixed blade format. What do I think about it? I think it's unique. I honestly do. I think it's very unique. I'm not someone who has any push daggers, but if you had to get one, this is a unique one because you can use it like an ordinary pocket knife. Again, just keep in mind the closing mechanism and the mechanics of it for safety purposes. Other than that, it's a very unique item. I think it's a great first stepping stone into a transforming, adjustable knife until you go and spend those hundreds of dollars into those fancy ones. I want to say it was Reich. I think it's the Alcade. Don Downey, if you're watching this, you know exactly what knife I'm talking about. He's the one who was referring that to me. And I held it at Blade Show this year. I just totally forgot the name of it. That one legitimately folded. If you didn't know, it turned into a dagger from recollection. I couldn't record myself because I was using two hands. It would fold into a dagger and it would fold from a open folding knife, close and open basically. And then you do a little funky mechanics to it, and then you can get it into a full-blown dagger like this. So with that said, this one is pretty darn cool. I'm not the biggest fan that it has to be held in the sheath this way. It's going to take up a little more real estate in your, because it's not really a in pocket. It's more of a sheath on the outside. Would it have been cool if they added some way to, I guess it just depends. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty cool. I just wanted to show this little unboxing and showcase it to people so they can see the mechanics of it in case someone was interested in getting it and they wanted to see how it worked. You can see it's very easy to transform it back and forth. Once you get the hang of it, you can easily one-handed do that. The only thing I will say is just be careful when you go like this, and then when you come back, if you're using one hand, that is sharp right there. So there's been plenty of times where I'm going like this and my finger would just kind of hit it. Never cut myself. You can see, well, that's from like weeks ago from another knife. But what I'm saying is the back of your hand, as you go like this and try and release, sometimes I'll feel like my nail or like that side of there's a little bit of skin just kind of latch onto there. So just be careful. You're like this, you're holding it in that push dagger scenario, and then you go and let go. You know, it's kind of hard because you might just kind of tip into there and hit it. So that's the only thing. That's where, you know, doing it like this, like, let's see, you can literally, just do it like that, or two hands. It's a funky one, you know what I'm saying? If you have experience with it, let me know. And if you're interested, we can get more of these. It's not something that I currently have on inventory on BladeDistrict.com, but we do have lots of knives on there. And if you use coupon code YouTube5, you'll get 5% off across the board. If you're not already, consider following on TikTok. I go live every single night. I work very closely with knife brands. I think I've done probably 10 to 15 giveaways of like brand new knives and flashlights over the course of the past few weeks. I've done exclusives with certain brands like Concept, Kaiser, CJRB. We do giveaways, we do exclusive flash deals, prices that are cheaper than anywhere else. I work very closely with them. Something to consider if you're into pocket knives. I'm going to keep trying to produce some content on YouTube as the TikTok life is definitely taking up a lot of my time. And if you're interested in this, reach out if you're interested. I could always grab more. And let me know what you think about this. If you've handled it, what you think about this. And most importantly, I know the person who wanted this at first thought it was folding, and we couldn't think, we thought it was a folding one until I got it. If there's a more budget-friendly one that actually is a folding knife that closes, opens, and then turns into a push dagger, and it's not the Alcade, which I recall it being close to, I think he said 500, give or take. That's something I would be interested in, because I know he would be interested in, and that's something that, I guess we'll ask the YouTube community. If you're familiar with another transforming push dagger that can go from a pocket knife to a push dagger, let's see if we could do a sideways to show you. Look at that, how easy that is. Yeah. So if you're familiar with another one that is a little more budget friendly, that does completely fold and open separately, and then can transform into a push dagger, even if it does take more mechanics and two hands, I would be interested in that because I feel like he would be interested in that. I'd love to know. So rest of YouTube world, if you're watching this, drop a comment and let us know of any other folding, adjustable knives that could also transform into a push dagger. That would be awesome. Regardless of price, I guess it would be good to know, but on the more budget-friendly side. And with that said, if you're interested in more knife content, consider subscribing on YouTube, following on TikTok, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot.